Episode 56 CB. April 13, 2023. It's easy to create clean air issue. The one electric car creates clean air issue. The 2 wood burning stove ban creates clean air issue. Residents against wood smoke emission particulates. See rawsepresidents.wordpress.com and scroll down for PDFs of articles with URLs to search on. And on the website are links to 10-minute TikTok and YouTube videos and 30-minute podcasts on Spotify and Podbean. How often do you hear the phrase, "the game was called on account of smoke"? Never. It is not a casual thing to be inundated with smoke. Smoke in a public place is not treated casually, and the source of smoke must be investigated and eliminated by authorities. The game was called on account of rain is a phrase that is used quite a lot to show that Mother Nature had a hand in creating the weather, and no particular human being is criminally or civilly responsible for the rain. But if there is smoke on the field, everyone recognizes, or is soon told, that there is some serious human-caused problem, either by intention or negligence, and the stadium is evacuated. Entire towns have been evacuated recently because of smoke. It is a natural human reaction to warn others to get away from smoke, and a natural human self-protective reaction to attempt to escape from smoke stinging one's eyes and choking one's breath. If the idea of indoor residential wood burning, which produces 90% particulates of 2.5 micrometer size, PM2.5, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, emissions that invade the yards and infiltrate the homes of near neighbors of residential wood burners, if this invasion of neighbors' yards is hard to imagine, then think of how the neighbors live. Indoor wood burners live crouched around wood stoves, but their near neighbors live with wood smoke emitted from residential wood burner stacks, preventing near neighbors from the quiet enjoyment of their yards and homes, even in warm weather, because most residential wood burners do not burn based on the weather and most residential wood burners have alternate forms of heat, but only burn wood for ambience, aesthetics, current fashion, or maybe as a status symbol, since it has been proved that in many areas, residential wood burners are more affluent than their near neighbors. If residential wood burners are not affluent, but are indigent, the residential wood burners can obtain clean alternate forms of heat from the Federal Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, LIHEAP, with offices across the United States. There are also wood stove exchange programs, which allow exchanges for heat pumps that work at temperatures well below zero. Residential wood burners create PM2.5 pollution not because they need to, but for a host of antisocial reasons, that are firstly antisocial because residential wood burners ignore the effect of their PM2.5 on their near neighbors, and not because wood burners are physically addicted to wood smoke as cigarette smokers are addicted to cigarettes because of nicotine. This is why there are analogies of residential wood burning to drunk driving, although alcoholics are addicted to alcohol and residential wood burners, again, cannot claim they are physically addicted to wood burning. Residential wood burning may be done as a way to bully near neighbors, or to prove that the wood burners exist to their neighbors, even if only as a noxious cloud. Possibly, residential wood burners may be blindly unaware that they have neighbors, and this must be brought to their attention, as if they have just arrived in civil society, and must be introduced to it. In 2023, during each firing up of their wood stove, each wood burner resembles a hot rodder with a faulty exhaust like that in a 1970s movie called Eat My Dust, free to continue through the whole movie to create car accidents, in the movie running in the residential wood burner's mind. It's not a pretty picture. In that way, Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, RAWSE Presidents, has analogies to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, MADD. RAWSE presidents would like PM2.5 monitors to be handed out by governments, probably by health departments, to any near neighbor who complains of wood smoke from a neighbor's residential wood burning, and RAWSE presidents would like data showing PM2.5 above EPA safe levels to be enough proof to shut down residential wood stoves. Both of these changes in society, new regulation, will require legislation in a state such as Wisconsin, or local ordinances across the U.S. that recognize the harm of PM2.5 from residential wood burning. There is also the example of the EPA's recent nationwide proposed regulation of automobile emissions that virtually guarantees we will soon be a nation of electric cars, relegating to the past gas-powered, PM 2.5 polluting cars. Mothers Against Drunk Driving, MADD, was influential in getting breathalyzers to be used by law enforcement to identify drunk drivers so drunk individuals could be stopped from driving before they caused accidents that maimed and killed others in their path. Even though a residential wood stove is a stationary source, and pinpointing the source of pollution, the individual residential wood burner stack, is not at all difficult with PM 2.5 monitors at the fence line, in the yards of near neighbors. Indoor residential wood burning is not adequately regulated, and is often not regulated at all. Harm to near neighbors in the form of ill health from lung cancer, asthma, cataracts, heart attacks, stroke, and dementia result from residential wood burning. It is not a favor to residential wood burners, and certainly not to their near neighbors, to ignore residential wood burning pollution. Data from each resident-owned Purple Air PM 2.5 monitor can be downloaded 24 hours a day 7 days a week, allowing historic data collected every 10 minutes, including data from overnight and weekend residential wood burning, to be used by government officials during normal government working hours, allowing shutdown of residential wood burning without entering homes of residential wood burners nor requiring certification of wood stoves. The Office of the Inspector General, OIG, watchdog of the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, issued a report in February 2023 stating that the certification of residential wood stoves was so flawed that wood stoves above EPA safe limits are routinely manufactured and sold because of loopholes in EPA regulation, at the urging of wood stove lobbyists, that allow this failure. This success of the residential wood burning industry lobbyists resembles the lobbying of the tobacco industry in the past. In 2023, the faulty exhaust of a hot rodder may soon be a thing of the past, if it isn't already, after President Biden's new EPA regulations effectively mandating zero emissions from automobiles, beginning gradually by 2032, come into effect. Both regulating PM 2.5 pollution from vehicle emissions and effectively regulating PM 2.5 pollution from residential wood burning will benefit society in reducing health effects and climate change effects from both of these sources of PM 2.5 pollution. United States. Spring cleaning tradition. New York Times. Rosep View, spring cleaning is a tradition begun in response to the caking of surfaces in the home with soot and dirt from burning wood in the winter. Better not to cake surfaces with soot and dirt in the first place, by stopping burning wood. Then there would be no need for physical purification in response to predictable soiling of the home. Perhaps then, wood-burning people could focus on purification in other areas of their lives, leading to spiritual purification from increased care for their neighbors. Excerpt edited by Rosep for brevity and clarity. Spring cleaning has its roots in a dirtier time, when people heated their homes by burning wood and, later, coal, and the end of winter meant scrubbing surfaces caked with soot and dirt. The tradition endures today as an annual ritual of purification and renewal. Republican Party intrusive government. New York Times. Rosep View. The article below can be read as a critique of Republican gerrymandering, corruption by wealthy, polluting, lobbying wood-burning manufacturers, and the complicity in pollution from duped consumers of residential wood stoves. Excerpt edited by Rosep for brevity and clarity. The two major elements of the Republican Party, extremely wealthy individuals in an era of high economic inequality and a voter base motivated by cultural and demographic threat, have a hard time winning electoral majorities on the basis of their policy agendas, a high-end tax cut agenda for the elite base and a culturally reactionary agenda for the electoral base, which increases their incentive to tweak the rules of the game to their advantage. At a certain point, the arc of history, which bends toward liberalism, means that traditional values among social conservatives lose their status, which is eventually reflected in progressive changes in the public policy agenda evident in many post-industrial societies during the late 20th century, including concern about protection against environmental and climate change.